Woke Disney CEO Bob Iger has finally snapped. He has reached his breaking point as he is horribly suffering from DeSantis derangement syndrome in the most hilarious way imaginable. We're going to be taking a look at his meltdown today because it is so glorious and he is completely losing it over what DeSantis is continuing to do to Disney and everything else. And a lot of this had to do with the massive amount of pressure that Bob Iger is currently under, having to deal with the shareholders from Disney. But today, we have this that we need to talk about here. Woke Disney's Bob Iger lashes out at Governor DeSantis. Not only anti-business, but anti-Florida. Yes, because Bob Iger totally cares so much about Florida. He's not just trying to, use and manipulate and take advantage of Florida. Not at all. When he returned to Disney late last year, CEO Bob Iger said he wanted to quiet things down in the company's ongoing political war with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. On Monday, Iger did anything but that by accusing DeSantis of retaliating against Disney and of being not only anti-business, but anti-Florida. And of course, a lot of this goes back to the whole Don't Say Gay bill that was introduced by DeSantis that Disney was, of course, opposing. And I mean, so there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make this into a thing where it's like you're either team Bob Chapek or your team Bob Iger. I am neither, okay? I think that both of these guys are terrible. I've never been on either side of this weird thing that people have decided to make this into. I think that they're both terrible. I think that they're both terrible for Disney. Bob Iger is, of course, the biggest fool of them all by what he is saying here. A company has a right to freedom of speech just like an individual does. During the shareholders meeting, Iger indicated that the company will continue pumping out more of the woke content that has been tanking with viewers and contributed to Disney's financial tailspin last year. They're just going to continue to double down on it because that is, of course, what Disney is all about. Disney is all about the agenda. They aren't about actually giving good entertaining content. That is not what Disney's primary objective or motive is. Diversity is a real priority for us, he said, adding that Disney will continue to create content that promotes greater understanding, greater acceptance. Unless, of course, you happen to have more conservative viewpoints like, Gina Carano, then, of course, you will be blacklisted, fired, and everything else. DeSantis, for all of these terrible things that Bob Iger said about him, has had an amazing time as governor. DeSantis wins 2022 Florida governor's race by largest margin in 40 years. So what DeSantis is doing is actually what the people want, okay? The people want DeSantis. The people want more people like DeSantis in office, which is why he won so majorly. And that should be not only a lesson to Disney that they have completely fallen out of touch with what people actually want, but it should be a lesson to Republicans as well, that they need to have the balls like DeSantis has to stand up to all of the terrible things that are happening in our country. With that being said, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. What do you think about the hilarious meltdown that Bob Iger is having? So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.